They thought they had found the perfect place to rest. The young couple, Noah and Claire, had been driving for days, but finally, at the end of an endless road, they saw a light in the distance. As they got closer, they realized it was a hotel, Cozy Inn, standing tall at the edge of the world. The interior was just as lovely. The air conditioning was blasting. The staff were friendly and welcoming, and best of all, there were no other guests. It was as if the entire hotel was just for them. Silence hung heavy in the air, almost unnatural, too perfect to be real. But the first night revealed the truth. Claire woke up in the middle of the night and noticed that the clock on the bedside table was ticking backwards. She shook Noah awake, whispering about the clock, but he just laughed and went back to sleep. When Claire tried to get out of bed, she saw a door in the wall behind the bed. Startled, she turned back to the bed, but now the door was gone. Then Noah opened the door. Confused, he stepped out, expecting to find a hallway, but instead he found another door, identical to the one they had come through. He turned the doorknob and walked back into the room. He looked at Claire, who was now wide awake, staring at the door. He shook his head, hoping it was just a dream, but when he turned back to the door, it was gone. In its place was the clock, which was still ticking backwards. As the minutes ticked by, fear gnawed at them. Their cozy room had become a prison. By morning, their fear had grown. They had to get out of that room, but before they could, they needed to find out what was going on. Claire noticed that the lobby they had come through was different. It no longer had windows. Outside the entrance, what had looked like a road was now nothing but thick fog. It was as if the hotel was swallowing everything around it. As they stepped out into the fog, a staff member approached them, her face stretched into a wide smile. "Good morning," she said, her eyes blank. "Your room is already waiting for you." She repeated the phrase again, but her lips didn't move. It was as if the words were coming from somewhere else. Before they could respond, she turned and walked away, disappearing into the fog. Claire froze. Behind her stood another figure, a pale copy of herself, mimicking her every move with a second's delay. The figure reached out, touching Claire's shoulder, and then it too turned and walked away. Noah realized then that the walls were breathing, the corridors twisting, turning the hotel into a maze where time itself was breaking apart. They had to get out, but every time they thought they had found the exit, it led them back to the same room, or a room exactly like the one they had been in. Each room was identical, with the same furniture, the same clock ticking backwards on the bedside table. Each room had a door that led back to the lobby, but the lobby was always empty, the staff nowhere to be seen. And then, as if mocking them, the lobby clock struck. It wasn't the gentle chime of a grandfather clock, but a loud resonant clang. It struck once, twice, 3 times. They didn't count the minutes, but their final moments. They collapsed onto a nearby table, burying their faces in their hands. What had seemed like a haven at the end of a long journey had become their final destination. As the clock struck 12, they closed their eyes, waiting for the end. But even in the darkness, they knew they wouldn't be saved. The clock ticked past midnight, but they never heard the chime that signaled the passing of each hour. Perhaps it had stopped counting. Perhaps it didn't need to. It knew they wouldn't be leaving alive. If you liked this story, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like, so you won't miss the next horror. Every day we bring you new anime horror stories that won't let you sleep.